Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. This is the New Rider Diaries. I'm James and today we're going to have a ride and chat on a new local route which I've discovered. Really excited to film this, take you along for the ride. It takes in some amazing little twisty roads, some fantastic scenery, and the best part is it starts about 3 or 4 miles away from my house. And I never knew it was on my doorstep. So stick around and I'll take you along on the journey with me. Don't really have anything to talk about specifically today, so you'll just have to listen to my dulcet tones jabbering on about any old rubbish as we go along this route for the next 20 or 30 miles. So stay tuned and please like and subscribe if you like what you see. So the route today is starting in a little Welsh village called Llangollen, and we go through Llangollen down the back of what's called the Glyn Valley. Now it's about, I think about 4 or 5 miles off the top of my head of incredibly twisty, windy, hilly roads. Amazing scenery, and it brings you out at the bottom in a village called Llangollen. From Llangollen we're going to snake our way through some incredible kind of twisty roads, going through woodland cut out of the valley on the bottom. Eventually it'll lead us up into a place called Chirk. We'll go past the aqueduct there, and then from there we're going to go on to Llangollen, through the centre of Llangollen, and then up the Horseshoe Pass to the very top. Might stop off at the Ponderosa. We'll take in, which is like a little cafe, so we'll take in some of the sights up there, and then we'll go down the back way through there into Wrexham and then back home. Now there's a couple of things to note here on this particular vlog. The sound, for starters, it might not be the best, and there's two main reasons for that. Firstly, I'm not actually feeling too great. I've just got back from a week away at Centre Parks with the family, but I've just got a terrible cold, which I think I picked up whilst I was there. I tend to go every year to Centre Parks, and it's the same every year. I end up getting a cold. I think it's probably because there's so many kids there in the pool, and you know, you're bound to pick up some germs along the way, and unfortunately I have this year. So yesterday I could barely talk. Had a really bad temperature, but seemed to be on the mend today. Although I fear I have made a terrible mistake in that I am wearing full long johns, a fleece, winter inliner, and jacket on the top. I am absolutely boiling. So yeah, I guess maybe I'll sweat the cold out of me today on this route. Who knows? But the second reason that the audio might not be too great is because the microphone is just flopping loose inside my helmet. It's currently rested on the mesh shelf that you get round by your neck, which I think is for wind protection. But yeah, it's just loosely held on there, and the reason being is that the usual helmet I take on my travels with me. Last time I went out on the bike, I got caught in a torrential, and I can't emphasise this enough, it was a torrential downpour. So much so that the inside of my helmet was completely drenched through. I mean, I was drenched through, when I came home, I took my boots off at the door, and I'm not exaggerating now, when I turned them upside down, a flood of water just came out of the bottom of the boot. The only way I can describe it is it was like a Daniel Ricciardo shoey. There was more liquid in my boot than Daniel Ricciardo puts champagne in his. It was torrential. But anyway, I put it in the garage and obviously left it for a week because I was going on a holiday. And I came back today, and unfortunately there's signs of mould in there. So that's totally my fault. Complete newbie error. I should have taken the insides out, laid them all out to dry. But yeah, lesson learned. And this channel isn't called The New Rider Diaries for nothing. So here we go. Here's the first kind of scenic viewpoint. So that's the Glyn Valley down there, I believe. Not a soul about. And it's just one of the most peaceful, amazing scenes you'll ever find, I feel. I mean, I may be biased because I live around here, but that is just, yeah, it beats living in the city any day for me. Now, I actually lived in Manchester for a few years. I lived by Liverpool up until 2 years ago, but recently returned to my hometown on the Welsh-Shropshire border, and coming out on the bike and seeing things like this just gives me a newfound appreciation for the area. Here we go, I'll just pull over here. Get a panoramic view of that, just take it in. So we're going to be heading off over there, I believe. See some of the hills in the far distance. That's where we'll end up. So yeah, let's get going. So I hope you've all had a good week. As I said, I've been to Center Parcs. It's always good to go with the family. Went along with my sister, her husband, my little nephew and my parents, and of course my girlfriend. It's just a lovely week just to get away, do a few activities, and relax really, which is much needed. Also meant that I've been off the bike for a week, which as sad as it may have been, at least it gives the bike a little bit of a rest, because I have been racking up the miles to say the least. So it's probably not a bad thing, just giving it a break for a few days. Also as well, my shoulder had been giving me some grief. I think I covered it off in the last video. I'd picked up a few kind of bad habits, shall we say, when I've been riding. I've kind of just been using my arms to take the full force of my body really to keep me upright, leaning in on the bars instead of using my core and gripping the tank with my legs, which I should have been doing. And I think just having a few days off from that's just allowed my shoulder to kind of recover, and now I'm going to start again fresh, doing everything right and proper by the book. Hopefully I won't get any pain from my shoulder going forward now. But it's just little things like this that I'm trying to perfect as my experience grows, I guess. So when I was learning, I was very much just focused on what was going on the road in front of me. I was hyper aware of doing mirror checks every 10 seconds, counting them down in my head, and worried about what gear I should be in, and where my instructor is and where he's telling me to go. I was far too focused on that to really perfect some of the more intricate riding techniques. So now, as my experience has got a little bit better, well, now I'm a little bit better, should I say, I can start ironing out some of those newbie errors. Here we go, isn't it? Another good view of the valley. I'll stand up on the pegs. Oh, I've never done this before. Standing up riding. So again, apologies if there's any heavy breathing that you can hear. I am recovering from that cold I mentioned earlier. Taking a load of tablets before I come out, because if you notice, the weather today is just spectacular. So there was absolutely no way on earth that I was going to miss getting out on the bike today. I'm busy all day tomorrow as well, so this is really the only time I have free, and I plan to make the most of it. I'm going to do a couple of little errands this afternoon. I'm going to take the bike with me, but I feel as my battery capacity is quite limited, I might not be able to film those parts. So the plan after I've been over the Horseshoe Pass is to head back down the other side and head up into the northwest past Chester. I'm going to the motorcycle superstore actually. Just going to have a look to see if they've got any winter gloves. So the ones I've got now are really good for summer. They're the Triumph leather, but they are most definitely not waterproof, and they will be freezing when the weather takes a turn. So I think I've picked some which I like the look of online, and I'm hoping they've got them in stock at this place I'm going, so I can try them on in person. I can't quite remember the name of the shop I'm going to. Is it the JS Motorcycle Superstore in Winsford? But I've been there a couple of times before, and their stock selection is absolutely huge. So I'm going to see if they've got them in stock there. The ones I've been looking at are the Oxford Hamilton, which I feel kind of look the part. It looks similar to the ones I'm wearing now, which I really like. But they've got thermal lining and waterproofing, and they've got good reviews as well. So I think those will be the ones for me, certainly for this winter. And then after I've been there, I am going on to Warrington, and I'm going to go to Decathlon, and I'll tell you in a minute why I'm going there. But this junction has been my nemesis the past few times I've been here. Ugh. It's a bit of a hill start, and there's always people in that pub on the benches outside, and the past two times I've been there, I've actually stalled it and made a complete numpty out of myself. I'm really kind of getting rid of those bad habits though. I don't know if you can call stalling a bad habit, but an unfortunate error, shall we say. I've not really stalled it for the last few rides I've been on, bar that very junction. But now I think fear the fear has been overcome, shall we say. Not sure what was going on there. Looked like there's some big event, a running event. Good day for it, for everyone. And here we are in a place called Glen-Ceiriog now. So while we're going through the 20 limit, let's talk through the bike again. So the Scrambler, Triumph Scrambler 400X. I've had it now for about 1,300 miles. Very, very pleased with it. Really feel like I couldn't have made a better choice for me personally for my first bike. Or my first big bike, shall I say, because I did have a CVT license about 20 years ago. So yeah, it does everything I'd need it to do, and it does it well. So whether it's twisty roads like we're on now, doing 50 mile an hour, where it's really, really happy, just purrs along, or whether I'm doing dual carriageway going 70, 75, in fact not 75, 70, it's more than happy to do that. Does get a little vibey around the 70 mile an hour mark, but I guess that's to be expected from a single. Oh, nearly run over a squirrel there. My god, my heart was in my mouth then. Stay out of the road, you nutter. So as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. Yeah, it does the dual carriageways. I've not actually been on the motorway with it yet, although that may change later on, because when I'm going to Warrington, the main road there is a motorway. It's really easy to manoeuvre and to handle. Feels really light. Well, that's, I guess, because it is really light for a bike. You know, I'm 6'2", probably 16 and a half, maybe even 17 stone. I don't struggle to move this thing at all. In fact, when I'm putting it back in the garage at the end of a ride, quite often I'll just lift the back end up and shunt it in. And I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to do that on some of the other bikes that I was looking at. So on my short list was the Triumph Bonneville 865. I actually put a deposit down on that bike, but having looked at a few reviews of the Scrambler 400X, I called up the garage. Oh, there's the aqueduct. I actually called up the garage and got my deposit switched over to this one. Whilst I like the look of the Bonnevilles much better, I just think this is a way more practical bike for me to learn on, and I would recommend this bike to pretty much anyone, new riders, experienced riders, older riders. You know, I think this and its sister bike, the Speed 400, you know, you can kind of cater for the whole market there. And I'm hoping it'll help me out in a couple of years as well. Get my dream bike, which is the Triumph Bonneville T120. And how I think it'll help me out is it's from reading an article in I forget the name of the paper. Is it the Motorcycle News magazine that comes out weekly? Well, anyway, I was reading an article in there, and they were saying that because the Speed 400 and the Scrambler 400X are doing so well, they're finding that a lot of older riders are trading in some of their heavier less efficient, bigger bikes, and to purchase these, which has meant that there's a lot more second-hand, you know, things like Bonnevilles, for example, for sale now, lowering the price. And I actually had a look on Auto Trader last night, and admittedly I don't really know what the second-hand market was like perhaps a year ago or two, but it certainly seems that there's an awful lot of options out there if you want an almost perfect spec second-hand Bonneville, for example. You know, the prices are very reasonable, I feel. Just riding through Llangollen now, the town centre. Bridge going over the river. See, it's quite a nice nice little part of the world. Shall I risk it? Yeah. Good one. Am I invisible? I must be. Oh, some rain as well. In fact, I'm not too disappointed that it's raining, and I'll tell you why now, because after I got stuck in what I can only describe as a biblical downpour last week, I soon realised how difficult it was to ride in the rain, because your visor is just completely covered. But I've bought some of this rain off stuff, can't remember the exact name, but so I've got that on my visor at the minute. It'll be interesting to see if it actually works. So far, it doesn't. That's annoying. Whoa, sheep on the road. Come on, mate, that's not very sensible. It's alright, that man saw him, or her, plenty of time, so that's one thing about going up this route. I was heading up here doing about 40 mile an hour the other day, and there was this van right behind me all the way. I could see that he was getting pissed off. He wasn't going as fast as he wanted to, even though 40 mile an hour is the speed limit. But what I don't think he appreciated is that there was that many sheep on the sides of the road that if I'm going any faster and I bump into one of them, well, at the best case scenario it's going to be very painful, whereas he's in a van, nothing had happened. So yeah, it's a bit of risk on this route, shall we say. Yeah, that rain off stuff's done absolutely nothing. I went for a cheap brand, so my own fault really. here we go. Just gonna stop over here somewhere. Oh, the motorbikes had to stop for some sheep as well. Here we go. Top of the Horseshoe Pass. Wish I could zoom in on all those bikes that are going down the hill now. But yeah, all this pretty much on my doorstep, which is not too bad. Very happy. There it is. Could do with a bit of a clean. But I think as a scrambler, looks quite nice, even with specks of mud all over it. Must admit, I'm not the biggest fan of cleaning bikes. Let's crack on. Probably not going to stop at the Ponderosa, so I've got quite a bit to do. Here we go, Horseshoe Pass, 1,367 feet high. Not too shabby, and if you see there, that's that hill I pointed out earlier on. And we're at the top of the Glyn Valley, so you can see that very hill from where we were before. So there we go, there's the Ponderosa, lots of bikes, very popular bike hangout I believe. I really should pop in actually, but it's not like I won't be back here again. You know, probably only took me about half an hour to get here, so maybe I'll do another video to show you what that's like, because I know that some of the quite popular YouTube motorcycle vloggers have been there in the past, so it'd be good to go and see what all the fuss is about myself. While the view's incredible on the way up, on the other side it's not too shabby either. Now, I don't know too much about this area. Quite know where I am now, in all honesty. I know if I although I know if I carry on going, I'll eventually go past one of my old hangouts, Llangollen mountain bike centre. That's the only thing I know round here. But no, rolling countryside for miles. See why my Welsh mate calls Wales, or refers to Wales as God's country. As I'm sure many other people refer to it as that as well. And who am I to disagree? Another squirrel. God, they're just running out in front of me today. Lucky for them, I'm very slow. And here we go. I'm going. In fact, I don't even know where I've turned. This is just the way I'd normally come to if I was going to go mountain biking. So I think I'm going the right way. I can get to Wrexham, back on the bypass to Chester to Winsford to Warrington, Warrington back to, well, Ellesmere Port to the M&S I'm going to go to, and then Ellesmere Port back home. Whew. I'm tired even saying that. But luckily my battery life seems to have held up fairly well today, and I've made it all the way to Llangollen. So as I'm coming up to this traffic light, what I'll do, because it's a hill start and I'm likely to stall it, I think what I'll do is I'll end the video here and say thanks very much for coming along for the journey. Hope you like that little route I've just done. If you did, please like and subscribe. I think I've got about 20 subscribers now, which I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with. I'd love to have some more though, so yeah, thanks very much. All the best. Take care.